we're going to go ahead and call this regular scheduled meeting to order. If the city clerk will take row.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Next thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please stand with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag Precious Heavenly Father, we thank you. We give you the glory for this day and everything that you're doing. Lord, we ask that we just come in your spirit at this point in time to lead this meeting. And Lord, let us, everything we do, let us do it to give you praise and honor and glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Next thing on the agenda is to approve the or amend of the agenda. I don't think we're needing to do that. We didn't put out any other agenda besides your guys'.
You want a motion on it?
Moving that one item.
Do you want to approve this agenda?
You want to move that one item after one speaker?
Yes, we're going to ask to move the Kaylee Newton to the, so if you want to make a motion
I'll
to,
make a motion that we approve the
I second.
agenda.
Roll call.
yeah.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
And next thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the meetings for 2/2/26, 2/11/26, and 2/27/26. Can I get a motion to approve?
Just a minute.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Bruner?
I will abstain since I was not a member at the time.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Next thing we have on the agenda is Kaylee Newton that's going to be here speaking about a 5K run walk on May the 2nd of 2026. If Kaylee will come up and speak.
Start.
Yeah.
Okay, we are wanting to have a walk on May the 2nd. We've already spoke with the farmers market. That's also their opening day. They said it was not going to be an issue, that we could work alongside of them. We are not going to have to close off Dixie Street either. This is going to be for a friend that just found out that she has breast cancer with a very high deductible, so all the proceeds are going to go to her. Starting at like 9 a.m. that morning. I think that's really about it. So we were hoping to get that for May the 2nd.
You need a motion
Yeah,
on that, Mayor?
just a
I
motion.
make
Okay.
a motion that we allow that.
Is there anything else? Can I ask, is there anything else? Have you checked with the chief of police?
I have not, but I did forget that. I did secure sponsorship. So for like insurance for liability, I did check with that and I do have that.
And
Yeah.
is it, do we know
I
if
did,
anything
Kelly.
else is on the,
We talked to the department heads about it, and so they are aware that she's
Okay,
wanting
so
to.
it's all good.
We're just wanting to wait
Okay.
for your guys' approval.
yeah, okay, I second that.
Then do your roll call?
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Thank
They've
you.
approved you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is the department head. They're the department heads. They were, you guys had questioned a lot of the finances, so I'm going to go through that with you guys by the departments. Let me get it brought down here. That might be faster. We'll start with the PD.
What page is that?
This is going to be on page 7 of your budget tracker. The PD has 29 employees, 27 sworn, no part-time people, so 29 total. at that department. So you'll see here on your salaries, you've got your actual balance of 140. And then if you go to your second line of the PD, it's 1.234,15165. And then the total budget, 2.280, with the budget remaining on that is 1.04584835. Part of your other request inside that was the building maintenance. So if you go down here to this line, it shows you that they spent $76.50 in the month of January. The actual balance is $639.72. You budgeted them $5,000. That leaves them $4,360.28. Another request was vehicle maintenance, and you'll see that right here at this line. $89 was spent and 77 cents. $18,456.76 is what the actual balance is. $45,000 here is what you budgeted. They have $26,543.24 left for the remaining of this fiscal year.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
only $89.77 spent on vehicle maintenance?
Yeah, so if anything breaks or tears up, yeah.
I mean, that's all we've spent?
For the month of January. So we didn't have a lot of breakdowns or nothing in January.
Okay.
But if you go to the next line, this fiscal year alone, we've spent $18,456.76.
Okay.
So we just had a pretty good month. The next thing you inquired about out of this department was fuel. So if you go down to that line, he's showing in the month of January, because I'm assuming the bill has not been paid. Dylan?
Yeah, it was paid like the 1st of February.
So it was paid at the 1st of February, so you're not seeing it come out at this line item. But we spent for the year is $52,677.82. You've budgeted $100,000 for fuel for the PD, leaving them $47,322.18. Next thing you was wondering about in the beginning of this was their supplies. So there's two line items here. You'll notice this here for the crowd that's looking. The cleaning supplies, they spent nothing for the month of January. They have spent this budget year $174.63. You gave them $1,000 in your budget, and $825.37 is what's left in this budget year. Next thing was, underneath that, was office supplies. They didn't buy any office supplies every month of January, so they have this entire fiscal year spent $1,122.98. You gave them $3,000, leaving them $1,877.02. Miscellaneous expense here, we do want to talk about this here, and I talked to Dylan about this today. When he first come on, Dylan, when he was putting in the high bridge water, which is not normally in this line item, he mistakenly put one of the month there. So you'll see the $49 laying there. That's just something we don't want to go back in the system and change. So the system's going to reflect that. Communication, you'll see their SVS equipment, it's $2,100, obviously nothing spent. Training, this month of January, we spent $22. We spent $459.10 for the actual budget year. $15,000 was budgeted to us, so it left us $14,540.90. Is there any questions about the PD? So we'll go to the fire department now. Fire department, and I'm sorry, I probably skipped over the salary of the PD. Do I need to go back to that? Do you want me to go over those numbers? Okay. The fire department salaries, for the month of January, we spent $78,624.40. For the entire year, fiscal year so far, up until the ending of January, $657,224.88. that you budget us $1.2 million. That leaves us $542,775.12. So moving on to the building maintenance. My eyes are not the best in the world. I probably should have my glasses on, but I'm trying here. So for January, we didn't spend anything in that or the vehicle maintenance and repair. But if you look at these two line items for the building, we have spent $55,2619. You gave us $12,000. We have $6,473.81 left. Vehicle maintenance, again, nothing spent in January. We've spent $6,398.14. You gave us $30,000, and we have a remainder of $23,601.86. As we go down into this equipment, we've spent for the month of January $2,310.77 for a total of this budgeted year, $4,478.41. $20,000 was allotted to us, so we have $15,521.59 left. Vehicle and equipment, this right here, you'll see the $26,498.22. This was an insurance, so you'll see that how we've got it in parentheses there. You budget us $30,000. Obviously, they've not spent nothing in the month of January. You'll see that the total is $56,498.22. So this will be something that Dylan asks is when you start to amend any budgets again, that we fix this and to reflect so on the budget. Is there any questions regarding that? Part of their training is CPR. This, obviously, January, we didn't spend anything, but we've spent $390. So we have $5,000 allotted to us. That leaves us $46.10. Another thing you ask about is their public relation. Nothing was spent in January. You gave us $2,000, $2,000 remains. IT, $234.42 was spent. $11,541.05 was for the entire fiscal year. $10,000 is what was allotted to us out of this budget change. It was part of this is, you'll see that there's a $1,541.05. We have talked to Mr. Weiss about this. It's something that we had talked to him about before. They had more before you guys changed the budget. I think that's about everything for that. Obviously, we don't have a grant writer, so we can move on to the street department.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Mayor, do you have a head count on fire department employees?
Yeah, the fire department is 17 full-time, 10 part-time.
Okay, thank you.
The street department, we have salaries of $67,686.26 was spent for the month of January. For the entire budgeted year, we have spent $625,095.53. You've given me 1.250, leaving a remainder of $624,904.47. If we scroll down here to building maintenance and vehicle maintenance, you'll see that we spent in building $159.31. The actual balance is $16,666.12. You gave us $2,000. That's leaving $333.88. Vehicle repairs and maintenance in the month of January, they spent $1974.46. Actual spent for this budgeted year is $27,127.99. Budget total that you gave us was $55,000, leaving a remainder of $27,000. Part of another one of their expenses is weed control, which of course this will be ate up as we come into the spring and summer months, but the actual balance is $273.49, and you gave us $3,000 in the budget. Uniforms is another thing, none for January, but this budgeted year, $6,270.97, you give us $5,000. So again, the budget changed when it did. This is another area that we've marked that will need to be fixed. And we're going to have monthly expenses from that because the uniforms that we use has a monthly expense. The fuel, you'll notice that they're not reflecting any fuel because, again, we do bulk fueling for the street department and sanitation, and that's a bill that we receive once a month, and that'll be reflected at February's. But for the year, they've spent $33,638.73. $45,000 would be budgeted to us. They have $11,000 left in that account. Office supplies and equipment, you'll see that $0 was spent. For the year, they've spent $1,166.66. You've given us $800 for that, and this is another line item that we'll need to address due to the budget change. New and used equipment. Right here, you'll see $1,290.26, $8,000 for the year, $25,000 that you had budgeted, which would leave $16,629.29. Safety and training, we have spent for the year $953.95. $1,000 was budgeted to us. It left them with a $46.05 for the remainder of this year. Is there any questions about street department? And also public works, we have a total on the street department 43 for public works, and we have no part-time people. Speaking of that, we're coming into the summer months, and the council prior to you guys took over the mowing of A.R. Dyche. We're going to have to either contract that out or hire more people to take care of that mowing. What we were doing is we hire students to come on and part-time people, and then we'll need some full-time people that stays up there as well. But that's something we'll need to address pretty soon to know what avenue you guys are wanting to do there.
This last mowing season last year, was it city employees or did you use a contractor?
No, we use city employees.
Okay. You may have said that and I just missed it.
If there's no other questions about that, we'll move on to the sanitation.
Mayor, excuse me, is there a special account for the cemetery for A.R. Dyche? Is it?
So the A.R. Dyche does have its own account that isn't a part of this. The board that obviously had oversight of that because we have an A.R. Dyche board. But they were having some issues there, so the city took over the mowing side of it. But the board pretty much runs all that we have over A.R. Dyche.
All right, so, but, okay, I got you.
But they're not expensing for the work that's being done in there.
Yep.
Sanitation, the salaries are $49,376.39. We've spent $577,230.43. 1.4 was allotted. That leaves us $822,000. Them guys are doing really well. Building maintenance, you'll see that we spent $1,793.45, $28.51 for the fiscal year. $500,000 was budgeted. That leaves us $497,000. The vehicle repair and maintenance, $39.47.29 was spent for the month. $99,712.21 for the fiscal year. $100,000 was budgeted. They have $287.79 in the remainder of that. You guys didn't ask about. There's new and used equipment, $776.92, $151,477.02. 1.2 was budgeted. We have over $1 million still left for the remaining of this year. New and used compactors, that's $500,000 was budgeted. We've not spent anything there. Compactors maintenance installed at $621.35 for the fiscal year. $2,000 was budgeted. We have $1,378 left. Recycling miscellaneous expense, $50 was spent there. $14,863.44 was spent, 10,000 was allotted in our budget, and again, this is something that we're gonna need to broach and fix before the close of the budget year. Grant recycling, this line item is just the grants that the guys apply for to buy equipment and things like that. That's why that's in there. This ain't nothing to do with taxpayer funds other than, we get it through the state or feds. Recycling expenses, $754.97, 6,000 was budgeted. We have 5,245 left there. IT, $671.02 for the month of January, $3,326.24 for the entire budget year. $5,000 is what you gave us. We have $1,673 left. Is there any other questions about sanitation?
Mayor, on compactors, and we spent zero. And I had a business ask me about one that had been on order for a while, and I guess it arrived last week, so, and we got zero down, so that's probably one
That
of the
was
things,
something that
just
was
like
purchased
fuel, that,
Months ago.
yeah,
Yeah, so we'd had to pay for that when
And
we had ordered it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
But yeah, they were very happy with that.
Yeah.
That compactor.
yeah. You probably know where it went.
Yeah, yeah. It was long overdue.
Yep, thank you.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yeah.
In what month was that leaf vac truck purchased, that we approved?
November,
When was that
It was
purchased?
November?
November, I think.
Is it on a line item that's in a former budget? Dylan's shaking his head. Do you?
Yeah.
It was purchased, the check was written at the end of November, or first of December, and it's reflected in here. If you go to sanitation, and you go to new and used equipment, it's in the 151,000 portion.
So right here, it would be on our account 0510. It's reflecting here is what he's saying.
Do you have a number of employees? Are they separate in that department?
The 43 that we have is, that's everybody, yeah. He said it's an even split between the two departments. Okay. Let's see here. We got Rescue Squad. The salaries we have for Rescue Squad is, let me get it flipped here. $7,062.74 for the entire year, $74,640.56. $145,000 was allotted. That leaves them $70,359.44. Let's see, expense outside of payroll. Vehicle maintenance for January, they spent $181.04. So let me get this down here so the public can stay up with us. You've budgeted $10,000 for the entire fiscal year. We've spent $3408.24. Radio repairs, you've budgeted $3,000. We've not had to do that, obviously. Fuel, we didn't again. Some of these reports may delay out, but the month that they're paid on. But you've got $13,634.32 that was spent for the entire fiscal year so far. $25,000 is what you budgeted. They have $11,000 left. The truck payment is an expense. It's $13,149.07. $31,000 was budgeted. They have $17,000 left. Utilities, $29,48.44. You budgeted $20,000. They have $17,000 left. Training, $3,500. $4,000 in budget. They have $500 left in that budget itself. IT, $178.29 for the month of January. $4,087.32 for the fiscal year. $6,200 is what you budgeted. They have $2,112.68. Public relations, they've not spent any so far this year and budgeted $500. Rescue Squad has 2 full-time employees and 6 part-time people. Is there any questions regarding any of the numbers for any of the departments? All right. Then I think we have the building inspector. passed him up.
Buildings on page 5.
Yeah, I think where I'm trying to go in the order that you guys had it on your page, I've skipped him. Thank you for that, Kelly. Here we go. So, we have 3 employees in the building inspector department. Salaries, they've spent $19,718.78 for the month of January, $112,091.07 for the fiscal year. $190,000 is what you budgeted. They have $77,908.93 left. Vehicle maintenance, they've spent in January $310.86. For the entire fiscal year, they've spent $454.76. The budgeted amount that you gave them was $4,000, leaving them $35,45.24. Uniforms, you gave them $1,000. They have $1,000 remaining. Fuel, again, where we do the way that our billing comes in for that, you probably paid it the 1st of February. You'll see that reflected in your February statement. For the fiscal year, they have $31,8704. You budget them $8,000, so that's $48,1296. Office supplies, they didn't spend anything in January. They've done for the fiscal year $288.53. $1,000 was budgeted, leaving them $711.47. Public relations, they have $0. Training, the $747.04 was spent for the fiscal year. You budgeted on $3,000. $22,52.96 is what's remaining. IT, they've spent $593.33 for the entire year. Your new budget shows $0, so this is another line item that will have to be adjusted when you guys go in to do your adjustments to the budget. And again, there's 3 employees there. The city has a total of 94 full-time employees, 16 part-time employees, and them part-time are between fire and rescue. Any other things regarding that? I'm going to get Gary to come up. We did do, in your packets, an open records request to the Kentucky State Police. It's on the last page. I don't think you gave it to me. Have you got it? The last page of your packet is a letter that we got from KSP. And in this letter, we did ask in that open records request for everything regarding the Doug Harless case. And this would include the search warrant and everything else. We have learned that they've sent out this pretty much this standard letter that they're telling everybody that they're going to try to produce all these documents to everybody by April the 10th of 2026. I don't know, Christy, did you do an open records request to them?
I did.
Did you get this?
And I got the same response, Mayor. I'm probably going to file a complaint on it because they listed the reason on mine. And I'm looking for your letter. I don't see it as that it's an open investigation. And once it was no billed, it's not. So I'm unclear. And I asked for. It sounds like, well, Gary and I have already talked about it. I think we asked for basically everything, except for stuff that need to be redacted.
Yeah, I think the way they said it in ours is that the amount of records that it is. And
It was
because,
voluminous, correct.
yeah, we heard that it was over 1,000 pages or of documents that they would have to send, and they had so many.
Did they put a gigabytes in yours?
Approximately 75 gigabytes.
That's what they told me, yeah.
Yeah.
But that includes, I think there's video and
Yeah, the audio and
audio.
security
documents.
camera footage of in addition to videos of the other cameras, audio recordings, 911 calls, audio communications between officers, dispatchers, between supervisors, personnel, incident reports, photographs, autopsy report, forensic reports. So it's everything. Again, they said that included the search warrant in this as well, so.
Yeah, and I think that video stuff is a lot of gigabytes, so it's hard to tell, just how many documents that is.
Yeah, and they went on
And
to,
they gave me the same date that you're saying.
due to the volume of records implicated by your request, KSP will need additional time to comply with your February 20th request in order to review the records and responsiveness, is what they've told us. They didn't tell, I don't think it kind of reads that it's open investigation, it's just the amount of documents. They just needed more time, so. But obviously, that will impact what Gary and them do and how they conclude. But that takes me to my next point. I think the Doug Harless situation, no matter whether it's you guys or it's us that conclude was a city policy violated, was a police department policy violated, that people still may not believe the outcome. And to remove the PD and myself, and I think even you guys, I think we need to create a subcommittee. I think this subcommittee needs to consist of one individual. I don't want to give my authority away in this, but at the same time, let you guys appoint one person to this, give me a recommendation, I'll appoint them to this subcommittee, and then I will appoint somebody, and then this subcommittee will appoint 2 other individuals. And it removes us from this completely. And that subcommittee then will take this investigation, because the facts lay in all these documents that KSP has said that they have. And none of us can conclude anything until we see all this evidence and everything that they have to know all the facts, and not go off speculation or Justice Page's post or any of that stuff. We truly, for the sake of the community, need 100% transparency and no politics involved. And, I was talking with some others today, and I think that it would be best that we have a third-party review of this, and not me, not you guys, and then we all submit to what this third-party review is requesting. But obviously, if we don't get these files until April, there's not much that any of us can really answer, because most of the facts lay there. So I think, and I hope that council would agree, that having a third-party review of this, of individuals that, one, we come up with qualifications. One, they have to be experienced in either law or law enforcement, and that they, third, have not made any comments for or against, either way. They're unbiased, and that they come in here and review whether or not something had been done or not. And that's what I would like to recommend to you guys today on this.
Well, Mayor, as you know, the packet tonight has a resolution where, to your point, because we got the notice that we weren't going to be able to get records until April 10th, I do think there's some activities that we still can do. They think there's still some activities that we can do. And I think this is a good suggestion. I like it. I like that third party completely out of it. Maybe somebody even from, the other side of the state.
That's what I was getting
Oh,
at.
yeah, I don't even say that they should be from this county. I think
No.
that,
Right.
again, the boundaries for this subcommittee, that we, both branches sat down and said, this is our boundaries. This is, recommend that people either know law or law enforcement. They're well experienced. Maybe they're not from this county, but it's unbiased views, and that somebody can come in here. And not only that, at the end, if they feel like that we need to make a policy change, then they give us that recommendation, and then we accept that. And that's why I said to initiate it, you take one person from your side that I will appoint from your recommendation, and I will appoint one person, and then we let that board appoint the other 2 people. So you'd have a 4-person subcommittee that is removed from us. Because what I don't think, Ms. Shannon, is that this city needs any more political things around this case. I think for the sake of the transparency of the city to the public, that something like that needs to happen.
I think it's a great suggestion. I think it's something I'd like to discuss with Mr. Wiest and get his input on it. I think, again, I think there are some things we can do prior to getting that April 10th file, if it is in fact April 10th. And I think, you know, for this community, for that family, I think we do need some forward motion. I think that's a great suggestion, and I think that's something that the next meeting, whether it's special call or regular call, I think we can bring that back up.
Okay. All right. Gary, if you would like to give your report to the council.
Good evening, everybody. For the month of February, which is from the 1st through the 28th, London Police Department responded to 790 calls for service. Just a few of the line items in there. Non-injury accidents, 56 collisions were investigated. 5 injury accidents. There were 7 non-injury hit-and-run accidents and 1 injury hit-and-run accident, and 84 alarms, just to note some of the higher numbers. Council have any questions?
I have a question. I know that there's been some reports of like you all working out of the city on like traffic stops and stuff like that, like maybe down in North Corbin.
That's untrue. That's untrue.
Okay, I was just curious. I didn't know. I thought I'd ask about it just to see. I didn't know if it happened or why it did.
Absolutely not.
All right, thank you.
The only officers that are outside the city limits would be the detectives if their case takes them outside the city. Other than that, there's no police activities going on outside the city limits.
Do you know what day this will happen on, Justin?
I think it was like over in the last few days. It might have been over the weekend. But I'm not sure. I'll have to double check with the person.
Could you find out and let me know, please?
Yeah, I will.
I'd appreciate it, because to my knowledge, there's been nothing outside the city limits
Okay.
by
And
anybody
Corbin
other
is
than the
working exit
detective.
29.
Yeah, well, they may have been confused, you know,
Yeah.
which cruiser it was, but
Yeah, Corbin is working exit 29.
And as I've explained before, there are other agencies that have black vehicles.
yeah,
So it could be mistaken identity.
okay, yeah. Well, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next thing on the agenda is Chief Donnie Hale.
Hello, everybody. For the month of February, we had 5 structure fires, 2 vehicle fires, 170 EMS incidents, 10 medical assist, 4 dispatched and canceled en route, 3 false alarms, and 7 unintentional activations. We did get apply for a PPE grant and was awarded the PPE grant, so that's saving the taxpayers some money. And we had 408 hours of training.
Any other questions for the
How
chief?
much was that grant, can you say?
I believe we have 2 of them. One of them's probably not on here. One of them was like 8,000 and one of them was 3,000.
Any other questions for the chief? Thank you, Donnie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next thing on the agenda is Public Works Director Philip Rollins. And Philip, if you don't care to give them a little bit more insight on what you're going to need at the AR Dyche.
Good evening. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and start with AR Dyche. Kind of, you know, that, we started into that year of the mowing season, and I think there was a contractor doing it. And then I think that stalled out, and we had a span of about 3 weeks or so. That's kind of a rough estimate that it wasn't mowed. So you guys, some of you that were on there asked us to take it over, and we did. It took us roughly about a month to really get a good upper hand on it, to get the clippings cut down enough to where we could really get it maintained like it needs to be. And then there was like a lot of the flowers and stuff that's just stuck in the ground. It's, really not supposed to be there. We took time to pick that up, and they get mowed around. So we did, the mayor had the idea last year to, to enlist in some temporary people. We basically hired, I think there was 2 high school students, and then we hired 2 other just general people, and that worked out really well. We would send one of our guys up there to kind of lead. That way we want to oversee all of our equipment, make sure it's not getting abused. You're getting newer people in. But about midway through that, we really got a hand on it. It worked really well. That's why we were wanting to make a request to get, 4 temporary people. As you know, if you get temporary people, you don't have to pay all the benefits and the health care and all that stuff. They basically just come in and work. Through that, sometimes you can find good recruits that maybe later on, if you have a job opening, you may want to call them back and say, hey, you worked out good. We'd like to maybe look at hiring you for a full-time spot. And so I think we're under a hiring freeze. That's the reason we wanted to come and ask to try to get the other 4 people. So
We'll have to come up with somebody, because Memorial Day will come up pretty soon, and, well, the grass will start growing way from Memorial Day.
well, depending on the weather, we could
but,
start mowing by end of March.
Yeah,
End of March,
March.
I
end
hope
of this
so.
month,
I
you'll
hope
be
we
mowing.
start.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that, because it's got to be taken care of.
We'll have to put it in a
Yeah, we'll
ordinance.
have to,
Do an amendment.
yeah, we'll have to amend it. Yeah.
I will, I don't want to take up too much time, but my report's pretty lengthy because I've got a lot of stuff I want to go over.
Okay.
But I'll try to speed through it. First thing is this FEMA tornado recovery update. Over the past weeks, we've had multiple project tasks and stuff that we've been coordinating and working with FEMA since this started, and we started all our record keeping immediately. We jumped ahead of that. We have gotten really close right now to where we were going to get like our first reimbursement. It was going to pertain to the guardrails in the park that were damaged. We were able to get pictures, and everything you do, if you guys are not familiar with this, every single place that was tore up on a guardrail, we had to take a picture, we had to provide a measurement, we had to provide a GPS stamp, coordinates, and then all that has to go to Brandon Wagers, who has done an outstanding job. He's been the prime record keeping for this, and that's everything we do has to be done that way. So even stumps, if a stump, tree's uprooted, we have to take picture, GPS coordinates of that stump. If we remove it, fix it, when it's done, you have to do the same thing, and all that has to be documented. So he's worked really good on that, but,
I
the
don't mean to
government.
interrupt you,
Go ahead.
Mr. Rawlings, but the council's asked me, and I'm confused about it too. Is the park FEMA money going to tourism, or is it going to the city?
We've not received any
we've not
FEMA.
received-
Well, I mean, when we get it, that's
Yeah.
fair.
So, but we will, we have to execute the FEMA money. And that's why I sent that email today that.
About
we-
the checking account.
We
yeah.
set up a FEMA account. That way, it's not bleeding into the general funds. We keep it very clean. You can see what goes in and out at that point, because they will wire the funds to the account, like this guardrail I brought up to Chris. And then we have to expense that out. We have a certain amount of time to show them that we fixed that. There was some language that was like 15, 16 days. And then we send that back to them, and not so that the job is completed, but we show them that we've got the stuff ordered. And so we wanted to make it was very clean. So that way, even for council, they could see what's going in and out of that account alone.
So some of it might go to tourism, some of it might go to street, like the guardrails or,
So like Treetop Adventures, if they given a reimbursement for like funds lost, the city can't recoup that because it wasn't our funds. It was our SPGE that lost those funds. Or if they do, like on the RV park, if they do a recouping of funds, of lost revenue or something like that, it would go to them. But far as any property, we would expense that and make sure that it gets fixed.
So that'll consist of like all the parking lots, the pavement damage, the delineators that were all put in, we put those in, all of those were brand new, we put them in right before the tornado hit, every one of them were destroyed, so all of that stuff we have charted, we've got it diagrammed, and then we're still waiting on the portion that's around the mill. If you've not worked with, anything to do around a creek or a stream, it's pretty extensive. We're waiting to we'll have to get some bids on that, and it's going to require special equipment, but we have left that particular spot for that reason. And part of what's helped that up is the shutdowns that the government has experienced. That's also what's going to hold us up on getting us reimbursement for the guardrail. They're shut down. FEMA's still operating. We're still working with a lady named Julie Wesley on that, but with the shutdown, the other people are not in there. So Kentucky Emergency Management is working, but FEMA's not, so. Want to give you an update on that. February was a really busy month for us. Of course, we all know we had the weather. The guys did a really good job on that. We had multiple things to do. They went back after plowing the streets, something that they've done that I feel like they do, that they went above and beyond, is they go back and clean up the snow piles. After we start getting a real heavy melt, they'll go ahead and remove some of those. If they're maybe an obstacle in the road or present a blind spot, we go ahead and we just load them out, haul them off and dump them. They did that. And then the sidewalks, I know some people were concerned about those. With the way that storm hit, the snow fell, then we had a melt and it changed over to freezing rain, all that. It got really, really hard. We don't have a machine to clean those off, so once the guys got the streets clear, they went out and did them by hand with spud bars and mattocks and shovels. You might have seen them, but we started kind of here and worked our way that way, and they did a really good job on that. We put down a lot of salt right there. We still have some money in the budget to restock that. We usually will stock it back up and set on it to the next year, so that's where we're at on the salt. Randy and them did a great job managing that and keeping it down. On street infrastructure, we have a lot of reoccurring things, the street lights, the pole lights. Some of those are KU, some of those are ours. Those are checked and maintained all the time. And we also had many potholes this month that had to be repaired. And as you know, a lot of our storm drains will get stopped up with snow, debris, and leaves. It kind of wedges in there and makes a plug out of the whole thing, but they've got a lot of those cleaned up. We've put a lot of stop bars in, trying to maintain the traffic striping. Put another speed bump on the Sulphurs Drive. We had some people that were calling, they like the road, but they want to know if we could put another speed bump in. That's been put in. We had plans to do that anyway, but we ordered the rubber ones and we didn't have it yet, so took care of that. Had a few mailboxes we need to replace, and our guys don't normally hit those. A lot of times it's the snow that knocks it down. The other thing I want to address is we do have a project the mayor has worked on really hard on Mill Street. We're going to replace a bridge on North Mill down behind the old Kearns Bakery. I think that structure was put in, I believe it was 1952 or 40 or 54. It's 52 or 54. We had it inspected. We did have the State Department come. They sent their guys out and inspected it for us, looked at it, and it does need replaced. It's showing a lot of stress. We've already paid for the structure. It's not on site here. It's at the place we purchased it from. So we held off for a little bit because we're going to have to close that street, and people will have to use the Tom Jensen Highway to go to one side and the others on the other till we get it done. We've coordinated that with the gas company. They're going to relocate a line so we can widen the street. The gas lines there now is going to be in the way of the footing, so they're going to relocate that. And then I put all our information in the package. If you guys see that on the recycle, we're continually going up on our recycled material that we're selling, that we're putting out. That keeps going up. And then the last thing I want to say is on the vehicle maintenance, as far as all the departments. One thing, when I came in, we always did our maintenance when I was at London Utility. Sat down and talked with the mayor, and we discussed the plan. So our thing on maintenance as far as the city is we have wanted to get the emergency repairs down, and the proactive repairs up. So that's why you see some of our maintenance is low. We have a really good system. We use the Impulse 9 stuff. All of our vehicles in there, so like Gary, if he wants, he can get on there. He can schedule it with Cody. He gets an email confirming that it's there. He also gets a calendar date, puts it on his calendar, the date that vehicle's supposed to be down there. Often they'll take it down a day or two early, and it'll sit there, so the guys, if they get a window to get it in quicker, they do. But we have continually dropped the reactive maintenance down and took the proactive up. So that's really helping us, and like I said, we do all departments, at fire trucks, unless there's some kind of special thing with the pump, so just wanted to throw that in there. You guys have any questions for me?
Mr. Rollins, was it your folks that put the red light in over on 80, right in front of the new go time? Just take
No,
credit
that'd
for
be
it.
the state.
Take credit for it.
Well,
Best
it wasn't.
decision ever.
It wasn't. I wish it could, but that's the State Department.
You know, I've had a.
We're paying for
busy
it, but
winter.
we didn't put it in.
It was so needed. That was treacherous through there, and it's really helped, I think.
Yeah, I think it is very much needed. One more other thing, on the compactor stuff, that's something that we're gonna be probably coming to you guys to get approval to get a couple of those. You have some compactors that are self-contained, in other words, it's a whole dumpster, has a unit on it, and then you have others that you have a hydraulic motor that you can put on there. Here in the future, we'll probably be coming to you to get some of those, because I'm giving the mayor credit because this is his idea, but we're gonna need, most of our roll-offs, dumpsters, a lot of that stuff, they don't have any numbers on them. So like, as far as like being able to do maintenance on dumpsters, you wouldn't think they need it. Sometimes they just sit and rot, and then you gotta replace it when it's rotted down. But if we take those and we put them in as assets, and we give each dumpster, each roll-off container a serial number, then we can go pull them, and if we have some in stock, we can pull those, rotate them, do maintenance on them at the shop, again, trying to cut down on the emergency repairs. So I just want to give you a heads up that we'll be seeking you guys' approval for that.
And that's something
Good
we
report.
also need, is we need more roll-offs. We get calls every day, and a lot of times we don't have the equipment down there to be able to, take it out, but.
And our roll-offs are the big, long dumpsters you see. They're normally this tall. We've been going through them. We've had to pull them from different places if they weren't using them right at the moment, just because of business, people building, construction going on. And that is a tough job for our roll-off operators, so.
Have we bought any of those since you've been in this position?
We have bought some, but we don't have near enough. I mean, like literally the mayor had one at one of his business over, I think, on Armory Street, and I had to call him and say, can we get your dumpster that's over there so we can use it? So, any other things?
That's good. Thank you.
Good
job on the streets,
Yes.
snow and ice.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda would be the building inspector here, Josh. You're next, Mr. Reynolds.
Good afternoon. So for the month of February, construction's starting to pick up. We've got more people submitting permits, with them coming in every day. We conducted a total of 64 building permit inspections, and we finalized out and issued certificates for 29 open permits that we had. Code enforcement still patrolling parking lots, looking for people parked in the fire lane and handicap parking, and as instructed, we're just contacting those folks if they don't have a sticker, and saying, hey, just kind of using it as a case-by-case basis rather than just handing out tickets nonstop.
Walmart parking lot, and if you could have your code enforcement officer take care of this, I'd greatly appreciate it. When you go to their parking lot and you go toward the front door and you've got vehicles both on an angle like this, and somebody wants to come down this way,
Going the wrong way down the aisle.
they just can't read. They can't figure it out. And you got some spots that they're parked, they're angled, some's like that, and then the other side it'd be like that, and you could do that.
It's two-way, yeah.
And they just can't figure it out. Just can't figure it out.
Yeah, I'll look at city ordinances and
And I'm
see.
joking about it.
Yeah.
There's, you can't fix,
Windmill, I got.
you just can't.
Huh?
And Josh, I was just making you
Oh.
can't fix that.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, he's not driving anymore.
Every time I go out there, he's sitting there saying, I'm waiting on you.
But, you know,
Oh,
we had a busier month this month than we did in February. We opened a few new code enforcement cases and then closed some also that had been remedied. And then we had one case that went to the code enforcement board and a final order was issued there. Do y'all have any questions about anything?
Thank you, Josh. Next thing on the agenda is John Allen, Rescue Squad.
AKA Reynolds.
Hello, how y'all doing? Going to give you the report for the rescue squad. This will be for countywide, and actually a couple of them probably be from outside the county. We had 17 weather transports, 35 light duty, and that light duty rescue is more than likely a motor vehicle accident with injuries. We had one SAR call that we had a canine out of the county. We had one search for a missing person. We had 4 drone operations, one rough terrain rescue operation. We had 5 people trapped in vehicles the month of February that we had to cut out. We had one child locked in a car. We had one elevator rescue. We had 2 fire services where we've assisted a fire department. We had one law enforcement assist. We had one animal rescue, one ice rescue, and one dive operation, total of 76 calls.
Anybody-
Mr. Allen, how much extra work would it be for you to split this up between city and county?
It wouldn't be.
I just think that would help them kind of
Okay.
see what's.
Gotcha. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. All right, that will conclude all the department head stuff. Couple other things that we had that we was wanting to bring up to you guys. Wednesday, we are doing a test, the city units are, on tornado sirens. So this is a project when the tornado happened that we looked into. So Wednesday, the siren will go off, and when it does, we'll have units in certain parts of the city to see how far the siren projects. This will be at 10:07 in the morning. We have looked at costs of tornadoes. We've talked to Kentucky Emergency Management Team about this. We really need to add about 3 more for the city limits of London. One is, we're looking at the airport, doing one there, and then going up on the north side of the limits and putting one there. But it would be good if we had the funding to do east and west side of the city on the limit sides as well. That way, our city will be totally covered. But we're looking at $33,000 a unit to install these. We do have the funding, and that's something else I was going to bring up. You know, I reported to you back at the last meeting, regular meeting, that we had $4.2 million in the bank. We got $4.3 million in the bank, so we're not going in no bad area there as far as all of our accounts across the city. So the city, again, is doing really well. But this, with spring coming up, I think the whole community, Laurel County in total, these sirens could even help the county folk, especially if they're laying on the outer limits of the city, and we activate those. Hopefully families could hear them as well.
What's the distance that they'll carry? Because I know for some time they've been concerned at the park with campers when a storm comes up, that something they could hear, that they could seek shelter.
Well, that's one of the places that we're testing Wednesday.
Okay.
Will be the park. We'll have a unit down there for the sound projection. Obviously, I don't think that they're going to be able to hear the siren, because one of our issues here and this is, we've talked to the team too, is we have this right behind the PD. And we have so many buildings that's much larger than that where the siren sits. That siren really needs to go up on top of a big
Right.
building here in London. And, you know, it's something I've talked with our safety team about and said, let's start talking to some of these building owners to see if we could get this positioned at a higher location. So it will cover a lot more of the downtown. Now, talking with the Kentucky Emergency Management team, doing the locations, if we did 4, south, north, east, and west, obviously it would cover the entire city at that point. We're looking at, like I said, $33,000. That unit is with a battery backup unit. Go ahead, Jim.
Does that include, that doesn't include a piece of property to set it on? It'd be like a tower?
Yeah, obviously it would be a tower, but talking with them, I mean, we could even talk to the utility company, KU, one of them, because that can sit right on the top of something if we, just coordinate it with them. We have the property, the city does, that we could talk, about in several of these locations that we could utilize. But again, I think the higher up we go, the better off we are for the residents.
I know the one that we have here in town, that sometimes I can't hear it. If the weather conditions and is just right, you hear it real well. And then if it's not, if it's moving another direction, that affects it.
Yeah, but we've got buildings blocking a lot of that, and I think if we could get it moved up in a higher location, it would really help this whole downtown little area here especially. So that's something that I am working on, getting it moved as soon as we possibly can. And then hopefully we can at least get 2 more. And if you guys was up for it, I'd be willing that we buy 4 more and just get this done. Now, obviously, that's the price of the unit and stuff. We would have to, and we did wind up reaching out to Madison County. They just put a bunch in, and that was their cost as well, the $33,000 a unit. But I think with the PTSD, obviously, everybody being worried, and it's coming spring, I want to try to get at least this one moved, and it would be really good if we could get a couple more installed before the bad weather gets here.
Do you think Dylan could put together like a project plan for the council?
We're working on that.
Yeah, with the invoice or the quotes,
Yep.
or have you got maybe a site plan just where you're proposing to put
Yep.
them, just something holistically they could look at?
Yep,
I
we're
think
working
that'd
on
be
that. We was
helpful.
gonna try to have it done today, but we was waiting on some pieces from Kentucky Emergency Management team. So as soon as they get some of their analytics to us, we was gonna put that in and get it sent to you guys.
Perfect.
We got some water towers that's sitting pretty high up. That'd be a great place to put it on. It's on the water towers.
And you're exactly right. I think the higher we can go with all of them,
Yeah.
we can cover a lot more. Because this one right here, I mean, it just seems like what Mr. Baker said. Some days, you don't have to be far from this, but if it's really storming or something anyway, and that siren goes off, you're not hearing it very far. And I think the buildings are blocking a lot of that too.
That and just the weather conditions
Yeah.
plays a big role on it.
So we'll get that project, all the numbers and stuff to you, locations that we're looking at. We'll get that to you guys, and hopefully you guys be willing to even call a special call meeting, because this is something I think we need to try to get done quickly. I asked Brandon to see if you guys did approve this, how long it would take for us to get the equipment in. Getting a pre-approval on it, once we get that stuff to you, would even be nice, so we can get the stuff ordered and try to get it in here. And if that does, then hopefully, coordinate with people and try to get it done.
Would the one that you were talking about, one at the airport, of course, that would cover Middle Ground Way in that area, but would that reach to the park?
Yeah, so
That's what
talking
they're testing
with the
this
people that know about it, they said it would, but it would be, if we
get
position
it
it
high
like
enough.
this one, no. But if we get it high enough that it would actually project, a lot over and even to the county. But and they've got a lot of different high areas down in there that we could utilize, we just need to talk to them.
I think water towers is a great idea.
Now, on your all's test Wednesday, what location are y'all gonna used to test? You said the airport was going to be one.
So, no, it's not, we're not going to be at the airport, but we're going to be at the fairgrounds, or not fairgrounds, but we're going to be inside the park. There'll be a unit there. We're going to go out here to the city limits on 80 on both ends. And then the 25, we're going to go up here to North Main Street. There'll be a unit there. And pretty much the outer limits, we've got 15 people positioned on the outer limits to see if they hear this siren at that time.
Okay.
And that'll give some coverage out into the county because you're going to the outer limits.
Yeah, if we went with all 4 units, yeah, you're talking, and get them on a high position, we're going to be able to project quite a good ways into the county.
Yep.
They're going to be able to hear it.
Good.
I think this would be a good start to leading the county to doing something too at the fire stations. If we move on it, if we decide to move on it, it'd encourage them. I know there's somebody that's been trying to get them for years to have them out there, so.
Yeah, and I think after the tornado, it kind of shows we got to have them, so. All right, we'll get to the regular business. New business, we had the first reading of ordinance number 2026-09 related to the council meeting, regular meetings. If the clerk wants to read.
So this is an ordinance amending ordinance 2025-02 entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Meeting Date, Time, and Location of London City Council Meetings, repealing prior ordinances and effective date. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of London, Kentucky as follows. The City Council of the City of London shall hold its regular, shall hold its regular on the first Monday of each month, beginning at 5:30 p.m. If that date is on a holiday when the city offices are closed, the meeting will be held on the following day. The meetings of the City Council shall be held at the Laurel County Fiscal Court, 3rd floor courtroom, 101 South Main Street, London, Kentucky, unless otherwise announced. This ordinance shall be effective upon date of publication. Any ordinance or parts of this ordinance in conflict herein are hereby repealed.
Just need a motion to approve the first reading.
I make it.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is ordinance number 2026-10. This is stormwater development. Council worked with Josh regarding this and Mr. Weist to get this updated, and we thank you guys for updating this ordinance. We've got a summary for this one?
Yes, we do.
Okay. We're going to have the clerk read the summary.
This is an ordinance amending ordinance 2017-13 entitled An Ordinance Establishing Maintenance Easements for Storm Sewer Lines for Soil Erosion, Detention Ponds, or Basins requiring maintenance by owners of soil erosion detention ponds, record keeping of maintenance for detention ponds, and authorization to charge owners for maintenance of detention ponds or basins, payment by owner for maintenance, liens, interest for the maintenance work performed by city, interpretation and hold harmless agreement by owner to city, agreement by owner for inspection of maintenance records or books of owner, requirements of maintenance records and contents, annual report, and contents of annual reports required by owner to city. This summary is prepared by Christy L. Shannon, who is certified to practice law in this Commonwealth. This ordinance was made necessary that the city assures business and property owners that flooding of adjacent property does not occur due to improper, inadequate, or neglectful maintenance of detention ponds or basins maintenance, and for the safety and protection of the public at large within the city of London. This ordinance specifically amends the language in ordinance 2017-13 to allow for relevant updates to be made to the name, address, contact information, and personnel of all property owners. Further, the building inspector has authority to make relevant changes in the future for any date, formatting, address, or personnel. This ordinance update the easement agreement to ensure that the London Utility Commission has access to the easement to perform needed sanitary sewer repairs. The ordinance has an effective date of publication. The full and complete ordinance 2026-10 is on file at the office of the London City Clerk and can be viewed during normal business hours.
Just need a motion to approve first reading.
I make a motion, we approve the first reading of ordinance number 2026-10.
I second it.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is the Ethics Board appointment affirmations for Shannon Kane and Danny Phelps. I will say, council, I do object to this. I think that you should wait to hear the courts on this matter. What's council's pleasure on this?
I make a motion that we accept the appointments to the Ethics Board.
Second?
I second.
Mr. Bruner?
I'm going to abstain.
Mr. Young?
Really enough.
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Okay, next thing on the agenda, we've already got Kaylee Newton out of the way. Resolution 2026-06. Are you guys wanting us to go through and read all these, or?
Actually, she said she didn't want to read it, and the
Okay.
council's fine with
So,
that.
What's your pleasure on this resolution?
Make a motion to approve.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Do you roll call?
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is Resolution 2026-03.
No, it's just the one resolution, Mayor. It's just, that's just a description of what's in
Okay.
the resolution.
next will be.
So we jumping down here?
Yes, for old business.
Okay, okay. All right, moving on to old business. And that was all in there. Okay. So, second reading of ordinance number 2026-06 related to council meeting sound.
Okay. Section 5 of ordinance 2025-15 relating to city council meeting transparency is amended to read as follows. All meetings conducted by city council shall be live streamed on the city's website to include the following. The videographer shall ensure that the camera views allows remote participants to see the entirety of the room, to include the mayor, city council, audience, and public comment time clock and podium at regular meetings. A good faith effort shall be made for all participants to be heard at approximately equal level, barring any external factors which are beyond the control of the sound engineer. The city shall procure a competent vendor to ensure that there is minimal disruption in live streams. This ordinance shall be effective upon publication. Further, any ordinances in conflict with this ordinance be repealed to extent of such conflict. If any section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such informality shall not affect the validity of the remaining ordinance.
What's council's pleasure on this?
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Do your roll call.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
The next thing on the agenda is second reading of ordinance number 2026-07 related to mayor compensation.
So this is an ordinance amending ordinance 2003-07 and the compensation for the mayor of the city of London, severability, repealing prior ordinances and effective date. Whereas KRS 80-A.070 permits the city council to set the compensation for elected officials, provided it is enacted not later than the first Monday in May in the year that the official is elected. And whereas the city council has determined that it is appropriate to revisit that compensation. Now therefore be it ordained by the city of London, Kentucky as follows. Effective January 1st, 2027, that the compensation of the office of the mayor of the city of London is set as follows. In the event that there is no city administrator or city administrator officer for the city of London, which position must actually be authorized in pay and compensation plan and filed, the mayor's compensation shall be set at the rate of $75,000 per annum. Or in the event that there is a city administrator or city administrator officer for the city of London, which position is both authorized in the pay and compensation plan and filed, the mayor's compensation shall be set at a rate of $20,000 per annum. This ordinance shall be effective upon publication. However, consistent with KRS 83A.0701, changes in the rate of pay shall not take effect during a current term of the office. Further, any ordinances in conflict with this ordinance be repealed to the extent of such conflict. If any section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such information shall not affect the validity of the remaining ordinance.
What's council's pleasure on this?
Could I ask a question on that? My understanding is that that situation, that having that administrator is going to be the option of the mayor. But the mayor can either take the 75,000 salary, or he can.
That's the way they
have it.
explained it to us. yeah.
Okay, okay.
Or she or he can request.
Yeah, excuse me, he or she.
That gets put in the pay, it's not currently in the pay and classification plan.
Okay,
So there would be steps to getting that done.
all right.
So, anybody making a motion?
I make a motion.
I second.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is HUD board appointments, nominations. Again, Harold Dyche was tabled. We sent you the other recommendation for Wayne Riley as well. What was your guys' pleasure on Harold Dyche? So you're going to make a motion not to confirm? I think action has to be taken, Chrissy, whether it's a motion to confirm or a motion not to confirm.
I think you can make a motion to decline, to confirm. I don't think we've done them in the past.
Yeah, but if you talk to KLC, I know in the past, we've really not, and they said not taking any action tables the motion until a further, another meeting, so action has to be taken. We've clarified that.
Okay, then you can make a motion to decline.
Make a motion to decline the nominations.
Both nominations? You guys do realize that we have to move forward in these boards. Need a second on the motion. City's business has got to, Christie, we've got to move forward.
I understand, Mayor. We need to move forward with the ethics board as well.
You guys have. You confirmed two individuals. Let's not get defensive or anything like that, but we get into these issues where people are not agreeing with one another on this. The Housing Authority needs a board. I don't understand the issue with either one of these. Matter of fact, neither one of them is in any way had any conflict on either side. It's just really mind-blowing. I know that you give me a couple appointments, but we got to get us a board. We need a full functioning board.
Did you send, and you may have and not, and I guess let's start with that, full functioning, you have a quorum in HUD right now, correct?
Correct.
Did
They
you send the
are not happy.
resumes?
You all need to understand that, though. HUD is not happy that the board is not full. They have given so much grace. This is going to
Ms.
affect the
Campbell,
audit.
you're welcome to speak at public comment.
I'm sure I am, but I'm a lawyer for them, and I want
Mayor,
the
could you
council
ask
to
for order,
understand.
please?
Yeah, but I think somebody's just trying to clarify you the importance of it. Don't take it as being conflict. It's, again, tell us, I guess, why this ain't happening. There has to be a reason that they're not wanting.
Did you, and you may have and not
Okay.
copy me, did you send these resumes and these folks to the council prior to the?
We did not send a resume, but
I think that would be helpful if you could, I know Ms. Dyche sent them a bio and resumes on the other ones they confirmed tonight or affirmed. And I think it would be very helpful if you could send a resume and a bio. And then, of course, on this board, it's important that they know their political party. It's the only board that they have to know that, but they have to know that.
I think that we have clarified that with Harold Dyche. This was discussed at our last meeting. And Ms. Shannon, I understand that you guys are saying now you are needing resumes and bios on these individuals. I could understand that more probably on your ethics board appointments, your illegal appointments. But I don't understand it for Harold Dyche, who is pretty well known from this council. They're long Londoners sitting up here, and they don't know who Harold is and his accomplishments in the city. Do you not know who Harold is?
I do know who Harold is.
I mean, I don't think we have to sit here and say, Harold, tell us if you're worthy or qualified to sit on the Housing Authority Board. He's more than qualified. He's an attorney with a long-standing career here in our city. Wayne Riley, he's probably friends with most of the people that's sitting here. I thought of all people, he would be less of an objection out of them. A minority on this board, and he would be serving as a Democrat. If that's the only thing that you're wondering about, we can tell you that he would be serving in the Democrat position. I just hate that we get into these places where it seems like we're making headway, that we're working together, and then for some reason, with no justification, I think that I'm due, and even the public, to know why we're not confirming these. Is it because they don't have a resume?
I don't think that this council has to defend their vote, Mayor.
Ms. Shannon, you say that, but then this side has to defend every action that we take. And if not, then you're launching another investigation and wanting sworn statements. When are they going to start giving me sworn statements on why they're not moving this city forward? It's investigation after investigation after investigation. And I'm not being facetious in when I'm saying that, but we eventually have to do some work here. It's been months, and we're not doing anything but investigation after investigation. I spent over half this meeting talking about numbers in a report that this council has gotten every month for 3 years. And I have 2 meetings now. I've had to break those numbers down. When are we going to get to work, Ms.? Because obviously they don't speak. I have to speak to you. I don't even have an attorney here. And soon the city probably won't even have a city attorney because they get funding for their 2 lawyers and I don't get anything. Matter of fact, the city attorney probably won't be receiving any pay. The facetious behavior, you can't say that you want to work together and then doing things like this, and then you have people coming here meeting after meeting, and then just to be told, no, we're not confirming them, and we're not giving you a reason why.
Have you guys made your motion? Have you made a second?
I'm just going to let you all know, after speaking with HUD, they expected this to be done tonight. They are on the board. It is as intense as it can get because of things that have been done improperly. So we will have to file a lawsuit in circuit court to understand why this is being withheld, or else we're going to lose our funding for next year. That's where we're at. This isn't just some silly little thing. Like, HUD is so upset with how things have been ran for the past 15 years that they are watching every single move. As they've explained to me, the only thing that you all are responsible for is to appoint. Then you all kind of lose all authority as a board. We need those appointments. Number one, there's not another Democrat that will take it. I've asked every single Democrat in London, just so you all know, there's not another Democrat unless you all can bring me one. Every qualified Democrat I could ask, or this board could find, nobody wants the appointment for this reason right here. This was actually what two of them told me. They did not want to come before you all and embarrass their families. But if we don't have an answer, HUD is going to force my hand to file a lawsuit as to why we can't get this done to protect the funding. So I just want everyone to understand, this isn't political in any other way except that it cannot run
Yeah,
without
but
the
we've
money.
already established there's a quorum on that board. They can do business.
I think you should call HUD then and talk to them because that's not exactly how they see it.
Ms. Shannon, when it comes to this, when it comes to the Housing Authority Board, there was never no Housing Authority Board, and this is where everybody's getting upset about this, but you're having me, so let me ask you this question. Everybody says I've removed the last board. Show me where that board was ever confirmed before a council. The very thing you hold me to a standard to is not being held on that last board. There was never a confirmation made on any board member that was serving on there. It was an illegal board. I try to correct that, and I'm the bad guy. They were serving without confirmations of council. So I come to you guys trying to clean things up, and then it's just met with just, more that we're not taking any action. We're not taking any action. And then it's just like, we don't owe you any reasoning on why we're not taking any action. Why don't you? That's the reasonable thing to do.
Mayor, with these two that you're wanting to appoint, does that get the political affiliation ratio?
It's good.
Right.
Yes, correct.
What, it's 50/50 or?
Correct.
Or, okay.
I make a motion, we go into executive session.
I need a second for that.
I second it.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
If the public will stay here, we're going to go into the council chambers down below. All right, if council can give us a motion to come out of executive session?
I make a motion to come out of the executive
I'll
session.
second.
Here you go.
Did we have a second?
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
Need
Mr.
a roll call?
Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yeah.
That was loud.
Yeah, it was. Are
Or-
you yelling at him?
I didn't mean to be that close. We got that part done, right?
Yeah, she's done.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that we accept Harold Dyche and Wayne Riley to the Housing Board Authority.
Need a second?
I'll
I'll
second.
second it. Whoever. It don't matter.
We got you now.
Do your roll call.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Okay, I think that concludes.
Public comments.
Oh, yeah, we have public comments. It looks like we've got one signature,
Mr. Finley.
Mr. David Finley. If you'll come up, you'll have 2 minutes. The clock, Mr. Young is running. When you hear the buzzard, your time will expired. Yeah.
Okay. So most of y'all probably don't have a clue who I am, and I probably don't have a clue who most of you all, but my father was Michael Finley, Finley's Fund Centers, and he died because of a mistake. Somebody was not paying attention to something. Recently, here in Laurel County, London, we've had somebody die for not paying attention to something. And I've been asking that we have some kind of just ordinance to bring our people back together, that we don't do things after dark unless life or limb is in justice or in peril. And Ms. Green, you did reach out, and I do appreciate it, and I had one person from the county reach out as well. But I just don't understand why we just can't give the people something. You know, it's life. It's not money in this situation, it's life. We lost a life of this community, just like we lost a life when my father died for an air traffic controller not paying attention, a pilot not paying attention. And if any one of you would have worked for my dad, you would have paid attention. When the DJ had his back turned to do a new song, they paid attention to what was going on the floor. We don't pay attention no more. And because of that, we lost a life here in Laurel County. So, I mean, just give the police an opportunity to do what's right so they can at least see during the day, unless it's life. We don't need to be doing warrants after dark. There's no reason. Keep our police safe, keep our public safe. And then that makes us, as a people, feel better about knowing that we're not going to have the police at 3 o'clock in the morning at our house trying to find out about our weed eater. So that's all. I yield back my
Thank
time.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Finley, if you'll hang out after the meeting, I'd like to talk to you.
Okay, just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll
Yes.
second.
Me.
Do your roll call.
Mr. Bruner?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.